Yes, I have right with me live on connected to his location, Barrister Folusho Olakpo. Good afternoon to you, sir. Hello, Barrister Olakpo. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, you are now connected. Solutions at 3.9 FM is the station. Yes, last week, as we were running up last week, there was a Federal High Court judgment saying that the governor-elect of... Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly. You are on.
Okay, please, I can hear you faintly.
Faintly?
No.
Is it better now?
I'm hearing you faintly. What's the question, please?
Is it better now? Is it better now?
Yes, it's better now.
Okay. Now, just as we rounded up last week, Abia State, there was a Federal High Court that delivered a judgment, so we're in Kano also, Federal High Court, that the Abia State governor has been, his election had been nullified, and that the media space was awash with that story. What is the real position legally? Is it a pre-election matter? Is it post-election? But what are the issues in a nutshell?
Okay, what I can hear, let me put it so that you can, is that the Federal High Court in Kano purported to have given a judgment sacking the Abia State government.
Yes.
Governor-elect.
Yes.
Hello, that's what you are asking.
Exactly. What is the legal position? Because there was a rebuttal.
Position of that. Okay. Thank you very much for having me.
Yes, sir.
One, I want to say that there is no court judgment. Some should submit their party registers before 30 days before election. That is the provision of that subsection. But it never gave any consequence for failure to submit at the appropriate time. And to that extent, the Honorable Court in Kano could not import extraneous matters into a law. You cannot, under our constitution. Hello?
I'm with you. We are with you.
Hello?
We are with you.
Okay.
Please go ahead. Please go on, Barrister Folusho.
Sorry, I'm hearing some people talking underground. Hello, are you with me?
We are with you. That should be on your side, not here.
Hello?
I can hear you. We can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Very clear.
Hello?
Hello, continue.
Conversation you don't worry, and the man was complaining.
Airtime.
What is the airtime? Yes, thank you so much for staying with us. Do pardon the glitch that occurred there. Barrister Folusho Olapo. Before that glitch, we were in conversation regarding the Abia State Governor-elect regarding the judgment issued by Federal High Court in Kano, and you are laying your arguments forth. Hello?
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, I think the network was very poor.
Yeah, is it better? Yeah.
Like I was saying,
Yeah.
The judgment did not, sack any governor-elect. The court has not given any order, sacking the Abia State governor-elect or any other person for that matter. What happens is that some people, Mr. Ibrahim, I think, approach the court for a declaration of Section 77, 2 and 3 of the Electoral Act.
Yeah.
And that is what the court had done.
Okay.
The court only declared what the law says and nothing more. Then secondly,
okay.
The court itself did not have even the jurisdiction to hear that matter in the first place. Because if it were to be pre-election matters, now it has to be filed 14 days, within 40 days after the event occurred, after the primary of Labour Party occurred. Within 40 days of that act, the matter should be filed in court. Unfortunately, this has been done since June last year, and nothing was done. It means that matter is started bad. So it cannot be a pre-election matter.
Okay.
So the court does not have the jurisdiction to hear it, because if it is post-election matters, where election has been held, concluded, somebody has been declared winner and certificate of return issued to that person, then to that extent, the only place a person could go is the electoral tribunal, governorship electoral tribunal in Abia, not even in Kano. So since it's not a pre-election matter, because elections have been held, a winner has been announced, and certificate of return has been issued. To that extent, the proper venue is not the Federal High Court, but the election
petitions tribunal
as set up by law.
Right.
Now, another point is this, that the law itself, the Electoral Act, stated that where elections have been held and somebody has been declared a winner and certificate of return issued, then to that extent, that person must be sworn into that position. And whatever happens thereafter in court will follow. So there cannot be a vacuum.
All right.
The law says that the person that won that election should be sworn in. So the Abia State governor will be sworn in accordingly.
All right.
And it is heartening because the court itself said it has never, that it did not sack any
governor-elect,
especially the Abia State governor-elect.
Well,
so these are some of the things that came out from that purported judgment that is being bandied around on social media. But the underlying thing, the underlying thing is that the court did not sack the Abia State governor-elect.
Okay, as a layman, I mean, my takeaway is this. Bottom line is that the case was about Labour Party not submitting the party's membership register as stipulated in the Electoral Act. Am I right?
Hello?
My takeaway is that the Labour Party did not comply with the Electoral Act in submitting in a specified.
Whether or not Labour Party complied with the Electoral Act is another thing.
I mean,
if Labour Party failed to comply with the Electoral Act, what did the law say stipulated as a consequence?
That's exactly where I'm coming to. Even if it failed, there is no consequence.
Hello?
Hello. Even if it failed to supply the party register as stipulated, there is no prescribed consequence.
What is the consequence of not complying?
Yes, there's no prescribed consequence.
Okay.
If
That's
that
what I said, that the Electoral Act, Section 77, subsection 3, did not stipulate any consequence. And there's no law in Nigeria that stipulated a consequence for not doing that.
okay.
It only that section only provided that the party's register should be submitted to INEC within 30 days before, 30 days before
The party primaries. And that is the only grant.
Stipulated what will happen thereafter. And the Constitution says that a person should not be punished for a law that is not in existence. So there's a law, there's a vacuum there, and that is why the court cannot import extraneous matters into it, where there has never been an offense.
There can be no punishment.
Stipulated by law.
There can be no punishment.
There is no offense. Of course, yes, the Electoral Act provided that party membership register should be submitted to INEC 30 days before their primaries, but it never stated any consequence that would arise for failure to do that. And to that extent, it is nothing. And that is why that judgment itself is declaratory. It's a mere declaratory judgment that doesn't bind on anybody.
Not a court order.
There has never been any order.
Thank you very, very much. It is.
Declared.
Thank you very, very much.
Hello?
Hello, sir.
All right.
Thank you very, very much. This is very insightful and very, very necessary at this juncture because the media space. Hello, sir.
Yeah, I think I'm hearing some sound underneath you.
Because the media space is awash with Abia governor-elect sacked, and just a few lines about the rebuilder. Thank you for this legal insight you are giving us, and that is what we'll be putting out there so that people will not get confused about these issues and do what.
And I want to tell people out there that they should not be disappointed. And I'll say that there's no law in this country. There is law. What the court did was just to declare the position of a law regarding something and did not give any order. And if you look at that judgment, paragraph 9 of that judgment stated that it cannot give an order sacking the governor because they have to go to the proper venue. So that place is not the proper venue. The proper venue for this is the election tribunal and not the Federal High Court. Once again, thanks for having me.
I do most sincerely thank you. I've been in conversation with Barrister Folusho Olakwo. Thank you. Do have a good and wonderful week. Yes, we needed to do that because all over the weekend the media space was awash with Abia governor-elect sacked.
Yes, sir.
And along the line, I was searching, and I stumbled on a part of the judgment that was published by a minor outlet that there was no sacking. And 98, if not 99% of the information out there was that, Alex Otti has been sacked.
That's true, sir.
Why? Why does it? Is this mischief?
No, it wasn't mischief. It's the level of information, knowledge in the space. Most people don't understand the rudiment of the law, and that is the much reason why we need an expert, and he has done justice to it.
Yeah, but how many people, you know the kind of trouble it could cause?
That's the work of the media, sir, to sensitize and to train the minds of the people to know more. Because
in Abia now, some people will be saying he has been sacked, and since he has been sacked, it is the next person, you understand?
Yeah.
That won the next higher number of votes. And then if he's sworn in on Monday, they will say, no, it will not happen. His court has sacked him.
The media in Abia too should endeavor to sensitize.
I've seen Labour people rise up to the occasion. I am not just sure they are communicating appropriately.
Appropriately.
You know, you can be talking.
Sure, sure.
and not communicating.
Really, yeah, the politicians in Nigeria, they lack the rudiment or the depth
The skills,
or
communication
skill,
skills.
especially, let's say, communication skill. You know, honestly, the concept of engaging citizens, they often use the concept of this top-down procedure.
We are going to do this for you.
Yeah.
We're going to do no engagement.
No engagement. And when the court judgment comes about, they have the word, they have the lower structure of their party. They need to learn how to communicate to the grassroots, not just during election period.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Adewumi.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
A week from today, Buhari will be in Daura.
Sure. And he said he might run to Niger, and nobody should trouble him.
I have resolved not to comment on some of the things that the president has been thinking aloud about. And you know, when you're thinking aloud, you allow some of these things get out of you when you think aloud too much. So he will be out of office. He will be in Dara. He will have been airlifted to Dara and his entourage. But 8 years in office.
Yes, sir.
What are Muhammadu Buhari's legacies?
Legacy. So as we have it,
I want to add this. I personally, I want deliberately and intentionally, I don't want to really have an opinion yet, which I consider maybe judgmental, believe you me, honestly.
okay.
Because there are 3 types of judgment that I know. The judgment of man, the judgment of history, and the ultimate one, which is the judgment of God. History, you can't escape it. The judgment of history.
Sure.
So why the hurry?
That's true.
So why are people in a hurry to condemn and do blanket this and you understand? History, though people chronicle history, they are chronicle. So
Even if it is not in Nigeria, the Western world have
so
their own chronicles.
I am not one of those, because people can be very judgmental.
But sometimes we need to speak out as things are. We cannot cover things.
What are you covering? The things are out there
in the public space.
So, what happened to Muhammadu Buhari's legacies? I have read through the media and I've seen attempts to roundly condemn him and rubbish him and discard him to the garbage bin of history. I don't particularly agree with that. I am not a Buhari lover, but I am a student of history.
So, which will now give you opportunity to balance issues.
I am not a Buhari lover. I've never been a Buhari lover, but I am a student of history. I am not likely to agree with such a round condemnation, blanket, throw him away.
Sure.
What are his legacies?
Let me start, sir. Thank you very much for this opportunity of coming on air. The first thing we need to look at is his very first 100 days. Buhari mantra, the change mantra, was what ushered him to become the president of Nigeria. And everybody gave him, when I use everybody, I'm talking relatively about the majority, believing that he's
a quantum.
A quantum. And even those who never gave him their vote believe that he's going to deliver over time. But one thing we fail to understand is the dichotomy between a manager and a leader. At the end of his 8 years tenure, we can see obviously that his managerial skill, you know what we mean by manager, when you put something in somebody's custody, doing his best to keep it as it is. But his leadership skill, I'm sorry, from a perspective.
No apologies.
Yeah, his leadership skill over the time even eroded his managerial skills.
No, you need to break down, because
So now let's
because
look.
that is critical to rather than going to economy and security and all of that. It has been overflowed.
Yes, sir. So when we look at the managerial skill, I said his leadership weakness affected that end. we see the Buhari government doing its best to fight corruption. Using all these examples, the TSC, Treasury Single Account,
Yeah.
the BVN issue.
Yeah.
Good luck brought it forth, but
Yeah.
he never implemented it.
Yeah.
So TSA, BVN, when Buhari came, he really sat down to make sure it's working. And today, we like it or not, it has come to stay. It has really improved that sector. But when we now look at issue of corruption as a big toga in Nigeria, he has not been able to do much because those around the government are the same old held. So when you block one side, they open other challenge. One of the challenges they open now is that, okay, put the whole money in the account.
All right. Do pardon me, I need to step in there. We do have a commercial break. We'll be back shortly.
Shey you dey whine me ni? Why you see red for this heavy sun?
No be that.
Na midnight you dey so. You dey receive one important call. Na so you just hear.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Sharp, sharp, you don begin check your wallet. But to cash no come dey o. How e for be if you go fit recharge without cash and dem still sama you bonus on top your recharge anytime? Your credit don nearly finish? No wahala. Just download my MTN NG app to recharge your MTN line. Abi make you dial star 904 hash to buy airtime straight from your bank account to fiam any day, anytime, and enjoy 15% awoof bonus on top any amount wey you recharge. Na so e be o, very easy. MTN, wetin we dey do today?
Daughter? Why is it that almost everyone in my school comes with small candies and biscuits? I just want to know.
Yes, darling. It's because Sumal food is amazing and simply the best.
Yes, mommy. Even the Sumal wafers and the chewing gum that you've always given to us are extremely delicious and captivating.
Hello, everyone. Here's your bread. Of course, it's yellow bread.
Wow!
Thanks, my dear. We always enjoy Jolly bread. For your biscuits, wafers, candies, chewing gum, and bread.
Sumal Foods, love at first bite.
Sumal Foods, love at first bite.
You're locked on to the #1 radio station. #1 radio station in the mix. The mix. And we ain't stopping.
You guys have the best music.
Turn it up. TSOL.
The Remedy.
Solutions FM.
Yes, thank you so much for staying with us. Solutions 93.9 FM is the station, and Political Update is the show this Monday afternoon, the 22nd day of May, year 2023. It's precisely a week from now. By now, exactly a week from now, we'll have sworn in a new President Commander-in-Chief, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, into office for a term of 4 years with his the Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima. Of course, we cannot talk about a new government without the outgoing government. More so when that government has been in office for 8 full years, and it is a continuum of the same party in office. I have with me in this studio this afternoon Mr. Wale Adewumi. Is an author, a development expert, and of course a public affairs analyst, and appropriately so, is our guest this afternoon. 8 years of Buhari.
So
you were talking about specifically, there's been overflow, economy, security, and all of that. Naira swap. You were talking about leadership and managerial
capability, yeah. So, based on comparing his leadership skill and managerial skill, so I'm now saying that his leadership skill has dampened his managerial capacity. You know one thing, a leader's work is to create system, structure, policy. His work is not to run after who has stolen what billion. Goodluck was very close to the concept of leadership, but he lacked the spirit and the will to execute it. He said something that we have moved from the age where you start running after who stole 10,000 naira, 1 million. If you remember the campaign season, that was one of the things he was saying. So Buhari failed to implement or develop system as a leader to take care of most of the challenges which also reflect in our economy. Let me give you some example. He has the good mind to develop infrastructure, to bring to bear good governance. So which we can see when it comes to this issue of taking loans. So every now and then they go out, especially to China, to take loan upon loan. And our debt has grown very large as at now. And with this money, he lacks the understanding of how to monitor how this money were utilized. Because for 8 years, if we were to be an effective manager, which we thought he should be, for 8 years, issue of loans should have been reduced significantly. We should start seeing productive arms of Nigeria. New company coming into the country to run their business by creating amenable environment. If you have taken loan to develop infrastructure, the infrastructure should be there to welcome new industry. That's the essence. And the worst part of it in his government, where I say he's not a very strong or good leader. One of the work of a leader is to build new culture, new identity, new frame of mind. If you remember this man, Singapore, Lee Kuan Yew, when he got there, one of the things he did was to sensitize the citizens. The driver knows that he's a contributor to the growth of the economy of Singapore.
Yeah, everybody is a stakeholder.
He's a stakeholder.
You create a vision.
Yeah.
And everybody keys into it.
But unfortunately, the atmosphere now is that everybody is trying to go to his tent instead of creating a corporate drive towards nationhood. We begin to have tribal sentiment from day one.
The result of this last election has fault lines.
Two things together. The issue of money swapping, changing, it came muddled up together. So let me start with that. Talking about leadership. That alone would have given Buhari a high mark if he were to be an effective leader. Because the issue is about the economy and the common man. Every naira hidden, hoarded somewhere were expected to be brought into the central port.
Or neutralized.
Neutralized for the common man. But unfortunately, he lacks the capacity to develop a system to achieve it. When the project was going on, one of the things I asked people is how many Oba were aware that there's going to be money swap. I'm talking about the stakeholders.
Yeah.
I don't think a single Oba was carried along. So, that shows how weak he was about being a leader. Secondly, the governor, who were more or less the next people to him, he couldn't carry them along. So I now begin to wonder, what has he learned in the last 8 years? You know, the world has moved away from this dictatorial system or the top-down system. It has come to the concept of coming together. Let's build our nation. If you remember this issue of change begins with me, when it was designed, we too had a concept, I am the change Nigeria needs. So somebody said we should submit the proposal, maybe they can see it to help them. But we never knew that theirs is just a jamboree. But it's how you say change begins with me. You go on the television, you show a policeman saying the slogan. How does it affect the roadside mechanic, the food seller, the transport worker? You know, they are more or less
the real people.
The real people. What they will now say is, it is their thing. I watched a film some years ago. Can I remember the title? It was by Beyonce and this guy. I've forgotten the title. They were developing a product, and the man said something. He said, until you sell to the barber, to the radio man, to the public people in the public domain, you are not yet selling. Their corporate identity was known among the rich. So when this man now brought this new concept, because he mixed with the common man, it was applauded and he was promoted. And before you know what was happening, their product becomes the #1 product by the reason of the chart. So what are we saying? Until the citizens are involved in the change, in the transformation, we are not going anywhere.
I'm going to put it like this. Until the citizens see. They got to, you know.
But there must be a rallying point. That is the work of a leader. The work of a leader is not just infrastructure development, giving people loan, and so on. So what he needs first is to attract the minds of the people, to open it up, to let them see what each of them will contribute. But we are beclouded by this oil money. A vision.
That the people can identify a place for them in.
Oh, thank you, sir. Let me give you 100%. That individual can find himself in it. When it becomes their vision, you will not struggle to tell them, don't embezzle. Don't take the allocation to your purse. The governor too will say, this is our home. But as it is now, everybody is being alienated. The government will say, let's take our own, run abroad. The farmer too, whatever he can steal.
You get a loan to develop agriculture. You say,
this is my own national cake. So when the government is coming back for the loan, you say, no,
it's out there that those who got Uncle Borrow's form, Uncle Borrow's loan, they say 87% of them they cannot even. It's not that they are not paying, but they say they can't even recover it.
They can't, because the mindset to taking the loan was a corrupt mindset. So when Buhari came to power, when he was talking about change mantra, I was thinking it's going to be something else. It was so funny. By the time it was 6 months, if I can get it right, he now appoints his ministers. At the end of the day, it was still the same old days. You know, we were expecting some magic. You know, when Obasanjo came in, we were able to see some Harvard graduates. It was during then that
those who are operating in the international financial system.
He brought them in. We like it or not, we were still able to see their impact or imprint on the side of our history. Look at Okonjo-Iweala. She came the Paris Club debt. She was able to waddle her way through, and they cancelled it. But the present government, the debt profile is rising. And it has reached to a point now that some people are beginning to think that it seems Nigeria is preparing itself for another level or kind of colonization.
Let's talk about history now.
Okay, sir.
Short run. As he is living. Then another 5 years. Even in another 4 years, Nigerians, our memories are very short.
Very short.
And then in another 20 years, let's break it down that way. How will Buhari be remembered? Because in the past few months we have seen Buhari going around and say, I have done my best. I call myself a high pass man. People do not know this. I have done this. I have done that. Why will you set an exams for yourself
And pass.
and mark it, the script by yourself? And let me put this to it. A professor of political science whose political tendency is a leaning towards the president's party told us this morning when we was asking him after framework, let's call this outgoing administration. The professor said I will score him 35%. I said, man, that's a failure. He said, yes. If there was a provision for a constitutional third term in Nigeria, if he runs, he cannot win. So, short term, as he leaves, what memories? 4 years, what memories? 20 years, what memories?
I want to go to this.
And what
legacy?
What lessons?
So, the memory I think he's leaving behind is not very good. I want to start with this issue of Naira swap.
That one is not going.
That would have been his best legacy if it was well orchestrated. He ought to run that project 2 years ago if he had good advisors around him.
And probably good intentions.
Good intention, thank you, sir. That might likely make people to forget all his error.
It could have results of economic issues.
But unfortunately, because he's in the elementary class when it comes to leadership.
That's weighty, elementary class.
So unfortunate. I think it is. You know why? There's a saying in English that you cannot teach an old is it horse or dog?
New trick.
A new trick. He has been used to leadership, military system of leadership. He never reinvented his mindset. I'm sorry, I'm talking about the Buhari I think I know. Some time ago, I was on radio, I said, Buhari and few leaders of his caliber, they ought to have produced documents of transformation for Nigeria. But as of today, after 8 years, I can't really say this is a document or philosophy or ideology of Buhari. I'm very sorry. So
I am for nobody, I am for everybody.
For everybody.
That's
his slogan.
Just a slogan?
No, it's because personally, I can't see how he has really touched the common man. So as we were saying about his leadership drive, why legacy may not smile on him. When he got to power, he said he's taking his capital, capital to Borno. That he want to be there himself.
Theater of operations.
Yeah, sorry, theater of operation. That he want to be where the battle is taking place. We were so happy that maybe in the next 3, 4, 5 months, things will have been better, made better. But after 8 years, instead of getting it better, the things we have now is the issue has escalated, proliferated itself, and expanded to the point that presently, instead of just operating over there, they now have a network of garnering finances, wealth, and so on and so forth. One of the incidents that we can attach to this issue of insecurity is this issue of kidnapping.
Yeah.
It becomes a network.
Big business.
Big business funding some underground challenges in Nigeria. So far, I have not seen him be able to manage that area. In his 8 years also, all we hear is Fulani do this and they do that. How many of them do they bring to the book or to the record to pay for what they did that goes wrong? So, other part of Nigeria, we see a leader who lean towards clanism, being a nepotic leader. In 8 years' time, he will be leaving office. So a nepotic leader does not feed the whole system. I would normally say you has a slogan, abundant life for all.
Making life more abundant for all.
You can't keep fending for one aspect. The entire nation made you a president. Some people may not vote for you, but at the end of the day, when you become a president, you are presiding over the wealth, resources of an entire nation. So you cannot take the resources of one side to feed out one segment, especially when that segment is your own people. So I'm looking at the legacy he's leaving. We are not trying to destroy his personality. We are saying this to any would-be leader. Learn to do things rightly. Learn to understand your constituency and feed all of them. Because it is not once you become a one-sided leader, history will not smile on you. Because the other part of the nation or your constituency will ask you questions, whether while in office or after leaving office. I want to give this example of Mandela. Till tomorrow, nobody has ever said Mandela was tilted towards his village, Kunu. I think the name of the village where he came from is, we call it Kunu here, but I think it's Kunu. So, when he died, they made a statement that was so powerful and profound. They said, when you get to Kunu, it was a white man making the, what do you call it, normally commentary. And when you get to Kunu, you cannot see any difference between Kunu and the next village, which means that Mandela was a national leader. So when Buhari leaves office, I doubt if many people will call him a national leader. He seems to be a segment or a sectional leader, talking about the legacy he will be leaving. So we should speak to leaders out there. When you are a leader and few people are hailing you, at the end of the day, it will affect your legacy. Talking about legacy leadership principle.
Yes, as we wrap the conversation up, this is the home stretch of the conversation this afternoon, about 8 minutes more. The president-elect that will, by this time next week, be commander-in-chief. In your opinion, what is his mandate? What is his mandate? That 4-year mandate. I want to put this into the mix. Former governor of Osun State, Baba Akande, said, what Nigerians should expect from Bola Ahmed Tinubu is putting together a 25, 50-year development plan for Nigeria. I guess not that a development plan that they will put together and just throw at us. That this is it. It is a development plan that will have an input, like maybe you know how they did the Constituent Assembly, how you negotiate things.
Yeah.
You know, when things are negotiated, you know, okay, this is what we want. This is our desire, and then we shape policy.
I want to give an instance.
Yeah.
When he went to Wiki Rivers to what do we call? You know, is it inaugurate or what?
Inaugurate project.
Projects or something like that. So Wiki was saying, we spent our money, we did this. He told him that, so you are trying to
wriggle money
out of me. That when I get to power, you have to lobby for whatever you want. So if we have to follow that body language, he's trying to tell us that things will change. Things has to be done differently. You don't just come because you are my man and take the opportunity that is meant for many. So Bola Ahmed Tinubu has something working for him. He is of the pack, one of the most competent when it comes to leadership. I've seen him over the years. I'm not his man, but when you see something good, you mention it. Tinubu is somebody that learn how to deal with every kind of person. His enemy, when they come back to him, he embraces them. He always believed that you can still be useful in his team. I've noticed it. The only thing that may work against him is if he doesn't learn how to
assert himself.
Assert, thank you, that's the right word. Assert himself and tell them this is where we are going. He has people who can easily derail his vision or his capacity. There are so many, the most are there. Many of them believe after voting for him, he'll give them to manage the Port Authority, to manage NNPC and so on and so forth. That's their mindset. So if he's able to handle that in the first 100 days, he will succeed far beyond what the last 3 presidents have done for Nigeria.
The moment you mention the issue of doling out patronage,
yes, sir,
my heart skipped a few beats.
That's my fear.
And the question I asked somebody this morning is this: Nigerians, political and governance space is filled with people who are clueless, and I mean every letter of that word, about the fact that when you are put in an office, be it governor, be it councillor, be it minister, be it president, commander-in-chief, you are holding that office in trust
for the people.
For the people. That is why it is called public office. A man who does not know that, a man who does not understand that, a man who does not go to office with that mindset, and is made the chairman of Ports Authority, and is made the chairman, minister of petroleum, and is made the governor of Central Bank. That's trouble.
That's big trouble. When everybody believes this is my own opportunity to take from the national boss. So we have big problem there.
I'll never forget, I was given one small assignment in an institution where I worked. And one of my friends walked to me. I will say it in Yoruba how he put it. He said, "Owo eti ba." I said, that is all you can think. You do not see this as a platform as a platform to even do greater things that will launch you to higher heights. After delivering on the mandate here, it is Akurals.
And destroying.
How will the president, commander-in-chief deal with that kind of people? They are the ones all over the place.
We can see them around. That's why I say, for now, we are on a journey. The state of Nigeria, that's something I want to tell the populace. They should not be troubled when they see some things coming up that negate their expectation from the new president. They should understand that leadership is a journey. So after 4 years, we will now understand how to negotiate governance, leadership during election. But for now, the average Nigeria and the respective constituency are not negotiating. They are only thumb printing. Thumb printing will not change Nigeria. The best leader, without you giving a mandate of what to fulfill, will mess up. As Tinubu is, I have not seen the mandate the youth gave to him, that these are the things we want to do for us and we give you our vote. The Christian community also could not say these are 7-point agenda we are presenting to you and we want it to be done, not just by begging that if it's not done, we will tell the public, we will stand on your way of success. You understand the kind of mandate? That was what Martin Luther King Jr. did. He didn't just go to the government and tell them that give the black people the freedom they want. Nobody will willingly give you what you want in life. And that's I'm also speaking to the citizens. As the president is being sworn in, you to tell yourself that you are moving forward. Because if the president is moving forward and you are not living where you are, it is those people that advance within that he will honor. And let's not say the leaders fail us and they are not delivering. If you are advancing, a time will come, they will give you the opportunity to right what they have done wrong. And the unfortunate part with these our leaders is if they fail to do the right thing, I know some youths are coming up, they will do it right. I just know that. But it will not be a shame to them that they were given an opportunity to mess it up. And I tell the people at home, we are on a journey, and Nigeria is going to rise to
Again.
greatness, for
Wow. Well, that's an optimistic note that we are rounding up. Yes, this union will rise again. I've been in conversation with Barrister Folusho Olakpo via telephone conversation. And of course, my guest right here in the studio, Mr. Wale Adewumi, is an author and a development expert. And of course, he played the role of a public affairs analyst. And we're looking at the Buhari years. The Buhari years. When next we meet here, Monday, we'll be talking about the new administration. Thank you so much, Mr. Wale Adewumi.
Thank you very much.
It's been Ayodeji Ajishopo presenting. God bless you all. God bless our union. Bye for now.
Now midnight you dey so. You dey receive one important call. Now so you just hear.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Sharp, you don't begin check your wallet. But to cash no come deal. How e for be if you go fit to recharge without cash and them still sama you bonus on top your recharge anytime? Your credit don nearly finish? No wahala. Just download my MTN NG app to recharge your MTN line. Abi make you dial star 904 hash to buy airtime straight from your bank account. Fiam any day, anytime, and enjoy 15% awoof bonus on top any amount wey you recharge. Na so e be o, very easy. MTN, wetin we dey do today?